It's a big subject. The afternoon and tomorrow, etc., most of the time we are going to spend on this, more or less. All right. Now, you must make a distinction between the mind and the brain. Quite often there is a confusion. And quite often both are mixed. And quite often the functions of the two are not understood properly. So we have to explain that separately. This is just a general session, but we will do that in a different area. Now, when we are talking of mental growth and mental health and so on, primarily there is a physical base, which is the brain. For the time being, I am not going to ask you to believe that the mind is a universal thing and you get something from somewhere else, and so they keep on going and coming, etc., etc. I am not asking you to do that at all. Therefore, we'll still think in terms of the mind having the brain as a physical basis. So your brain is very important. Brain being a physical matter, its physical health is equally important. We've touched on the physical health earlier. The brain's physical health is enormously important. We can touch upon it later. Now, so with brain as the basis, the mind works. Now, mind manifests itself in only two ways: thoughts, emotions, feelings. Thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings. These are the two ways by which the mind manifests itself. Now, mental soundness or mental health or a mental growth mean the soundness of these thoughts and the soundness of these feelings. Unsound thought, unhealthy thought, unsound feeling, unhealthy feeling, or whatever kind affects your mind and in turn affects your body. It's called psychosomatic, affects your body. And therefore, the mind's health depends naturally on these two very basic things. Now, the mind's manifestation, Mr. Krishna was explaining to you. Now, one is the power of the memory, which you all know. The power to store data and the power to recall data. Basically, it is done with brain as a physical basis. Now, in Sanskrit, the word used is manas. Tamil manam na solrom. Sanskrit, it is manas. Now, the data is fed into this manas, and it is stored there, and it is retrieved as a result of the strength of your willpower. Right. I'm not going to the physical basis now. I'm talking purely on the mind complex. So, it is a general kind of word. Now, here, you are looking at the mind as a storing and recovering area, which is the manas. Now, it's not really enough if you store and recover. When you recover, you must be able to recover meaningfully. Recover and analyze it intelligently. That's done by, according to our yogic elders, by another process in mind called the intellect. The intellect is, in Sanskrit, the word they use is buddhi. In Tamil also we use the word buddhi. All right. Now that is supposed to exercise its power on it in order to be able to evaluate the content of that stored data with respect to the particular need, the particular occasion, the particular situation, the particular person against whom this is directed, and so on. But it can mislead you. It can throw you off the gear, because intellect can also be influenced. And therefore, there is still a higher power in the mind, which is the power which they call as the chitta, the faculty of discrimination. It's a Sanskrit word, is chitta. Tamil chittamnu solluvom. Chitta. Now, this is the higher power of discrimination. It is that power that must come into play. And therefore, when you talk of mental health, mental growth, etc., all these three things are involved. All these three things are in top gear, are in top condition, about which we'll discuss in a separate session in the afternoon. Okay?